Alright, cool. So I'm about to show you 3 ways that you can flip your samples. Alright, I'm talking about loops and samples from songs. So there's gonna be 3 ways that you could do it at FL Studio. Let's get to it. So the first way is messing with the pitch or time stretching it. Alright, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get me a nice little loop from this little thing that I got. Cool. So I got this loop. Now I'm just gonna chop it up so I can get like the best part to sample. Nah, boom. I like this part right here. Cool. So, you can mess with the pitch or you could time stretch it. All right. So first, let's mess with the. Oh, what's that right there?
What is that? What the fuck?
Cool. So first, let's mess with the pitch. Basically, all you want to do is double click on the loop itself. And then you're gonna see a knob right here that says pitch. Don't use this top one up here. Use this bottom that says time stretching, and you can pull it up or down to change the pitch. If you move it up, you're transposing it to higher frequency. And if you're pulling it down, you're transposing it down. All right. So if you pull it up, you're sharpening it, and if you're pulling it down. All right. So let's see what 300 sound like. Like you see now it's more like high pitch, and it gives like more of like a dark Christmas vibe. Speaking of Christmas, hope y'all had a good one. Or let's see, then we got, let's go to 600. Right, and then we could go down and then it's gonna sound a little darker. Let's go to 400. Oh, this one kind of fire. Now you could also time stretch it. So basically, say I could switch the pitch. Switch the tempo, move it down to 150, and then all I have to do is make sure that this little double arrow thing, if you look on the top left, it's gonna say stretch audio. Just make sure that that is white, alright, or whatever color pops up for you. And then you want to go to none, so that you can stretch it to the 8th bar or 4th bar, so that you can have a valid loop. And then when you time stretch it, it's gonna give you a different sound as well. That's the first way that you could mess around with your loops, is by changing the pitch or time stretching it. Real simple way, real easy. This is for like low effort kind of stuff. So now we're gonna move on to the next one. So now the next way that you can mess with your loops and your samples are basically by going and using halftime, or if you don't have halftime, growth speed. Alright, so I'm gonna keep the same one. I'm actually gonna speed it up though, because I like the way it sounded before. Then you're gonna drag it into a track. So go to the top right, inside your sound. I'm gonna drag it to 12 because I know it's empty. Boom, boom. And then I'm gonna show you both halftime and growth speed. So first with halftime, let me go get it.
A few minutes later.
So also when you use halftime, grab you a EQ, just because the lower frequencies is gonna be heavy in this, because you are basically transposing a note into a lower octave. So I'm gonna go here. Then you can go into, and you can go into your thing. So it's gonna start you off like this. When you first pull it up, it's gonna sound different, and this is what it's gonna sound like. So now what you could do is you can mess with the time signature. You could put it at a 1/8 of a note. This basically just keeps it the same way as you had it before. Let me see something real quick. As you see, it's kind of like basically the same thing, just darker. Then you can go to 1/4 of a note, which is it doing it a little slower. And then obviously you could go to 1/2 of a note. Alright, cool. It gives a whole different vibe, a whole different skew, but make sure that you are using this EQ, because if you don't, then you're gonna get so much low end. It just makes it sound better. Work. And then you could come down here and you could like mess with it. You could go down to like effects. Effects basically like adds little like stutters. Oh, let me go back. You could do that. I'm not a big fan of that. Then you could play with the band. This is basically like tells it what to leave out. So say if I put it all the way to the front, this is the high end, like the higher frequencies. So it'll only do it for the higher frequencies. Just the whole thing. Half of it, the lower frequencies, the higher frequencies, and then you could change the mix. Alright. Cool. So you could do that, and then you could also go to growth speed if you don't have the other thing. And basically with growth speed, you can do the same thing. You can halftime it. So let's go to, actually before we go to halftime, I like these, like on our first page. So my favorite is basic 9. It just adds like a little repetition into the thing and kind of skews it. And basically like chopping it up. Then you have like 3, another stutter. Another stutter. But anyways, but you could come down to the bottom, and it's like a noise gate, so it basically like lets sound out. You could also use these both at the same time, which is cool. But this is like a noise gate. It basically like lets some of it pass. So I'll just show you without explaining it so you can understand. And this is actually good for making transitions, like when you are leading up to like a beat drop or something. This is like golden right here. I gotta use this more myself. It's just a noise gate, but like I was saying before, you also have monetary, which basically you could have time stuff here. So if I was to go to, what is that? Oh, so if I was to go to half speed, and all that does is basically just half times it the way that this half timed it before. Yeah, but it's not as in depth. That's another way that you could mix up your stuff. It's basically just by like using halftime or growth speed to add some flavor to the melody, to the loop, to the sample, and then boom. Alright, cool. So for the third one, I'm actually gonna go and get a sample. Yo, make sure to like if y'all like, and if y'all don't, make sure to leave me a comment down below. But yo, one thing, bro, subscribe, alright? Most of y'all be watching, y'all be here freeloading and not subscribing, bro. I'ma put the facts up here. Where you see now, you can't say it's not true. But yo, subscribe so you can get more content like this, more tutorials, more beat making videos, more sampling videos, more whatever y'all want, alright? Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright, cool. So I got this in here. So I kind of wanted to sample this part right here. So basically what you could do is you could double tap into it, and then that'll bring you to this where it says audio clip. You want to right click it, and then you can do 2 things. You could go straight into slicer, or you could go to the edit and audio editor. I like to edit in the audio editor first. I can't speak. I like to edit in the audio editor first to take away the parts that I don't want. So I basically know right now off the rip I don't want this later part. I kind of just want the intro.
A few minutes later.
Actually, I'm gonna keep this whole thing. Weird. Delete. I'm gonna keep this whole thing. So basically, I should have explained that first. Alright, boom. So basically I just took out a part that I wanted to take out. How you do that is you right click it, or you left click it, you hold down to stretch out this red thing, and you press Ctrl Z to delete the parts that you don't want. You can add tabs as well, like you can add markers to show like what part changes, or like what's like a switch up in there. Also you want to press this. It says trim side noise, which is basically just the quiet shit that's like you don't need. It'll take all of that out, but only on the sides. Yeah, so like basically you trim it down to what you want. I wanted this. It sounded real smooth, you feel me? And I like some of the sounds that he was singing, some of the melodies. So now I'm gonna click the top right thing. It's like a paper and the arrow. You could just drag it into the thing, and then boom, it's his own audio clip. Now I'm gonna double click this, then I'm gonna open it in SliceX, alright? So sometimes when you open SliceX, it'll have a bunch of markers for you, but for some reason it never does that for me. So we are going to click this like slice tool with the tab thing, and we're gonna click medium auto slicing. You could do sharp, which gives you more, or dull, which gives you less. Weird. And then now you have a bunch of samples in there. So I'm gonna go on my keyboard and I'm gonna just play the piano. And then you can, this is a way for you to like make your own Kanye type, you feel me, like boom bap, or Jay Dilla like samples, you know what I'm saying? And it gives you a lot of creativity because now you have a bunch of samples that you have a bunch of chops that you could use. And like I fell in love with this one right here. What was it? Alright, cool. Leave a like if you like. If you don't, leave a comment down below to let me know how to grow, you feel me? I made this video just because I've been sampling a lot lately and learning how to like flip my own loops and everything. And I'm like, yo, why keep this knowledge to myself? People need to learn, or other producers need to learn how to, you know, I know yeah, other producers need to learn these tools so that they could go and keep exploring their music producer bounds. Because I used to hate sampling. Now that I know the tips and tricks and it's a little easier, I'm able to just go out there, make a dope beat, and hey, weird. So I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. Keep exploring your music producer bounds and finding new grounds. Because the music producer world is bigger than you think. Alright, peace.
SKX PPY.